JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, JBNN Panton's full statement disclosed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items. Hi guys, I'll be taking a full look at JBNN Panton's full statement. Take a listen and leave your comment. Statement of JBNN Panton. I, JBNN Panton, voluntarily give this statement at 8 Lady Musgrave Road, Kingston 5, in the parish of St. Andrew, in the presence of my attorney-at-law Tamika Harris, and will say as follows. 1. I reside at 7 Degenhart Close, Kingston 6, St. Andrew, and my address for the purpose of this statement is 19 Avonmead Drive, Kingston 19, St. Andrew. 2. I have been employed to Success Securities Limited for 25 years, starting April 1, 1997. I am currently a client relations manager responsible for dealing with any client issues, and I acted as a wealth advisor. I work in the brokerage arm of the company. In this capacity, I interact with clients, manage their portfolios, assist them with deposits and withdrawals, and provide statements. 3. In or around 2010, my father was diagnosed with cancer, and I was primarily responsible for my parents' care and finances. He had to go overseas for treatment and was not employed at the time. It was at this point I thought of borrowing from clients' accounts to cover my father's expenses. I had no idea how I'd pay it back, but that was my solution at the time. Approximately 3 years later, he passed away, and I also had to assist with the funeral expenses. I also borrowed from the client's accounts to cover the funeral expenses. My brother also attempted to kill my mother and was committed to a home, and I covered his expenses. My financial burden increased during the COVID-19 pandemic, and income from SSL decreased. I was unable to repay the funds and continued to take funds for various purposes. 4. I used various mechanisms to take money from clients. For example, I would edit a customer's email in an email thread, and this email would provide consent to sell their shares and disburse the payments to the respective bearer. I would make a request to the asset management team for approval of the sale. The accounting team would then approve and make the payment. Once the shares are sold, I would request a check for the funds to be paid to one of 4 bearers. The names of the bearers are Delana Cook, Wesley Williams, Norman Taylor, and Tanya Thelwell. These bearers were independent of Success Securities Limited. The bearers would be issued the checks by SSL and would visit the bank to collect the funds. The funds would be delivered to me. 5. There were circumstances where clients would legitimately make requests of funds, and I would put through a request to the accounting team for a larger sum than what was requested. When the funds were delivered to me by the bearer, I would keep the difference. 6. In other cases, I would create an email request from the client that was not actually written by the client and keep the entire sum that was requested. 7. Some of the clients I took money from would request their funds or a portion thereof, and I would take the money from other clients' accounts in order to repay these clients. I continue the process of taking money from client accounts to repay other clients. I'm not sure how much I took from the clients in aggregate. 8. I also created false statements to provide to the clients, reflecting what they should have in their accounts and not the sum they actually had in their accounts. Account statements were only created upon request. I was able to do this over the course of several years because the accounting system changed, and even after the system was changed, many of the clients would only interact with me and my bearers. So a table was prepared, as you can see on the screen. It has 3 columns. In the first column, client name, second column, US dollars, and third column, Jamaican dollars. I'll not be reading out the full name of the clients, but M. Lewis has 45,000 US dollars, N. Taylor, 6,500 US dollars, M. Clemenson, 880,000 Jamaican dollars, V. and D. Lovell, 550,000 Jamaican dollars, M. Minot, 2.5 million Jamaican dollars, D. Cook, 35,000 US dollars, M. Welsh, 65,000 US dollars, J. Howard, 65,623 US dollars, J. Howard, 80,100 US dollars, R. DaCosta, 55,000 US dollars, K. Chai, 62,000 US dollars, N. Peart, 35,000 US dollars, A. Downey, 9.3 million Jamaican dollars, K. Roberts, 262,000 US dollars, H. Rajaram, 53,000 US dollars and 14.5 million Jamaican dollars, C. Ramdan, 100,000 US dollars, C. Chong, 45,500 US dollars, Esme Brown, $152,000. C. Morin, $158,000 and $2 million Jamaican dollars. M. Donaldson, $161,000. J. Ford, $216,000. H. and J. Ford, $614,000. S. B. Byrne, $560,000. J. Bowden, $260,000. J. Buchanan, $2 million Jamaican dollars. W. Hunter, male, $10 million Jamaican dollars. W. Hunter, female, $1.2 million Jamaican dollars. G. Stewart, $6 million Jamaican dollars. G. Singh, $15 million Jamaican dollars. E. Lewis and R.U., $6 million Jamaican dollars. N. Williams, $10 million Jamaican dollars. A. Williams, $3 million Jamaican dollars. C. Chin, $137,000. J. Hall, $154,350. H. Bailey, $200,000. J. Allen, $8 million Jamaican dollars. J. Thompson, $667,000. K. Nesmith, $116,000. And G. Williams, $10,000. Total, $4,323,073 and $90,930,000 Jamaican dollars. So no mention has been made of Usain Bolt's account, which means that there are others at SSL that is deeply involved in this fraud. Anyway, let us go back to our statement. This table shows the list of clients that I took money from in the first column. The second and third columns show the estimated value of the respective clients' portfolios had their funds remained invested up to the time of this statement, based on the sums of money that I took from them. For clarity, this reflects the sums taken by me from respective clients' accounts, in addition to my estimate of the appreciation of those sums had they remained invested. I'm able to provide these figures because I tracked each client's portfolio as if I did not take any funds from them. However, SSL's system would show that funds were withdrawn from each client's account. 10. I estimate that I took approximately 20% of the sum reflected on this table. That would be approximately US $864,614.60, 20% of $4,323,073 US dollars, and 18,186,000 Jamaican dollars, 20% of 90,930,000 Jamaican dollars. For M. Lewis, I do not remember how I took his money without his consent, but I remember doing so in or around 2020 or 2021-11. For N. Taylor, is one of my bearers who assists me with work-related matters. I added a figure to his request for withdrawal and I took the additional sum. This was done since 2018. 12. M. Clemenson has a standing order to receive funds monthly. She withdrew some of her funds and I took the balance on several occasions. I pay her 25,000 Jamaican dollars per month by the 29th day of each month out of my own funds. 13. For V. Lovell, I added a sum to a request and took the additional money. This was done in or around June 2022. 14. For M. Minot, my name is on the account, so I did several withdrawals in or around 2020 without her consent. 15. D. Cook is my personal bearer that I would use for work-related deliveries, and I took $35,000 from his account without his consent by selling shares that he had and taking the proceeds. 16. For M. Welsh, J. Howard and J. Howard, I made several withdrawals from their respective accounts without their consent in or around 2012. 17. For R. DaCosta, I added a sum to his request and I took the additional money on several occasions. This was done in or around 2020 to current. 18. For K. Chai, I made several withdrawals from his account without his consent in or around 2012 to 2015. 19. For N. Peart, I made several withdrawals from his account without his consent in or around 2020 to current. 20. For A. Downey, I added a sum to a request and took the additional money on several occasions. This was done in or around 2012 to current. This was done before the new accounting system was implemented. 21. For K. Roberts, over time, I added sums to a request for withdrawals without her consent. This was done before the new accounting system was implemented. 22. For H. Ramjaram, over time I added sums to a request for withdrawals without her consent and took the additional funds. This was done before the new accounting system was implemented. 23. For C. Ramdan, I made several withdrawals without the client's consent in or around 2021 or early 2022. 24. C. Chong, I made a single withdrawal without the client's consent in or around 2021 or early 2022. 25. For E. Brown, she requested an encashment and I added a sum to her request without her consent and I took the additional funds. I then encashed her share portfolio and took the proceeds. This was around 2 to 3 weeks ago. 26. For C. Maureen, over time I added sums to her requests or withdrawals without her consent and took the additional funds. This was done before the new accounting system was implemented. 27. For M. Donaldson, I made several withdrawals from her account without her consent. This was done before the new accounting system was implemented. 28. Jean Ford manages two accounts, one for herself and another on behalf of her deceased brother, H. Ford. I added sums to her requests or withdrawals without her consent and took the additional funds over time since around 2012. On or about the 23rd of December, she asked me to arrange Christmas gifts from overseas out of sums she believed were in her investment account. I delivered several envelopes to SSL with instructions for them to be given to the persons J. Ford requested. The envelopes had cash. The cash was from my personal account, not from J. Ford's SSL account. The sum was approximately 150,000 Jamaican dollars. 29. S. B. Byrne, I made several withdrawals from her account without her consent. This was done several times since 2012. 30. For J. Boyden, I made several withdrawals from her account without her consent. This was done several times since 2012. 31. J. Buchanan is an SSL client and the father of my daughter. I'll read that one again. 31. J. Buchanan is an SSL client and the father of my daughter. He gave me money to invest in his account at SSL and I took the money. This happened in or around 2022. 32. For W. Hunter and W. Hunter, I made several withdrawals from their accounts without their consent. This was done several times since 2012. 33. For G. Stewart, this account is under my name and he gave me funds to invest under my name on his behalf. I took all the funds that he provided for investment without his consent. 34. For G. Singh, Elaine Lewis, R.U., N. Williams, and R. Williams, I added sums to their respective requests or withdrawals without their respective consent and took the additional funds. This was done before the new accounting system was implemented. 35. For J. Hall, I made several withdrawals from his accounts without his consent. This was done several times since 2020. 36. For H. Bailey, J. Allen, and J. Thompson, I made several withdrawals from their respective accounts without their consent. This was done several times since 2013. 37. For Kate Nesbeth, I made several withdrawals from her account without her consent. This was done several times since 2016. 38. For G. Williams, I made a single withdrawal from his account in or around August 2022 without his consent. 39. I feel remorseful for my actions. I gave the above statement consisting of 6 pages and 39 paragraphs voluntarily and of my own free will, and am of sound mind. I confirm that I obtained legal advice before swearing to this statement, and the said statement was given in the presence of my attorney at law. Signed by JBNN Panton and the Justice of the Peace for the Parish of St. Andrew at 8 Lady Musgrave Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew. Date, 7th of the 1st, 2023. Well, guys, this was a mouthful. I said this woman are braver than 10. You know the statement that we have in Jamaica. But I'm saying that from 2010, this woman has been taking money from clients' accounts. What types of checks and balances are being done or were being done at SSL that nobody saw this? No audits were being done? That nobody saw this? People work hard for their money. Invest their money for CRI for old age, retirement. And this little scoundrel decides that she's going to empty people investment accounts. Because more or less investment is something where people put on for retirement. So a lot of people don't even go back or check. Then just know say they done every year then get a yearly statement which is so how much money they're supposed to have, which they actually don't have because the statements were doctored by Panton. But the biggest shock of all of this is that I have not seen her mention Usain Bolt account any at all. So I don't know where Usain Bolt's billions are, but it was not mentioned by her. She gave a full list of the persons that she said she has taken money from their accounts. So my big question is now, so who take Usain Bolt's money? Where is Usain Bolt's money? Is it that it is still you're hiding somewhere in some paperwork in our file 13 or something? Because this surely does not make any sense. But lady, boy, I don't know if I was one of these clients, Sad to say, and it is just a fact. I would have worked hard for mine, and I expect mine to be there. I expect to retire in old age, go up on cruise at will, go 5-star hotel at will. I know all of this has been taken from these people. Nobody knows how much of their money they'll be able to get back. Because even though the money was really stolen from SSL, what type of financial position SSL is in to repay these sums? But I'm heavily invested in this news, and as you can see, I've been following it toe to toe, and I'll continue following it right up until the end. So remember to stay tuned. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.